Now, our feature presentation.
And now, being recorded in front of a live studio audience of individuals who enjoyed the Flintstones movie with John Goodman, it's the most random show on the internet. It's TBK Live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the only show on the internet that you can hear west of Westeros. Welcome to TBK Live. Yeah? We're now officially Arya Stark's favorite podcast. Fuck off, everybody.
I love you, but you absolutely made like Game of Thrones nerds cringe everywhere when you mispronounced when you went Westeros. Like, my God.
Do you want me to tell you something? I watched 35
What's
YouTube videos on how to pronounce it. 30 fucking 5 YouTube videos. And it was pronounced differently in every single fucking video.
Yeah, but on the show it's pronounced Westeros. Like on the show.
Do I look like I watch the show? Do I look like I'm actually happy?
Yes, be happy because you will have avoided the. It's weird because my opinion has fluctuated and evolved since the series began. But I'll let you keep doing your intros.
Oh, that's it. Because
well,
joining me today is our temp co-host for a little while, temporarily, permanently co-host for a while. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the man. You know what? It is the one friend I can honestly say I am cool to say we share broveries. It is Mr. Brody. What up?
What up?
Broveries.
I'm a hovery for your brovery.
That's a t-shirt waiting to happen. You can check that out at Shop TBK, tbkmagazine.com/Shop TBK. Coming soon. A new t-shirt, by the way.
What's up?
Well, really quick, I wanted to say this. There are new t-shirts coming soon, and especially with June right around the corner, we are going to be celebrating, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it now. Who gives a fuck? Before we get into this whole Game of Thrones thing and we start going on rants, because I'm a little pissy because of something that happened on Twitter, and I'm a little pissy because of copyright trolls, and I'm a little pissy because I'm hungry, but we're going to talk about something else. Before we get into this, next month is LGBTQ Pride Month, and we're going to celebrate it. We're going to be releasing some Pride t-shirts, and all the proceeds for those t-shirts are going to some awesome charities, and I just want to get that out of the way. So go check out our shirts from last year. All the proceeds still go to the charities for those, and then the new one's being released on June 1st. Ta-da! Okay.
Nice.
That's what I got. Shop TBK. Okay. I guess we should just jump into this fucker with Game of Thrones, right? Like that's where that's the jumping in spot. What?
Didn't you say you wanted to rant about something?
Well,
first?
I'm going to, but I feel let's talk about Game of Thrones because I know everyone and their mom is either really super okay with it or fucking hating the world because of it.
There is absolutely no in-between reaction whatsoever. It's on either end of the extreme spectrum, and
more than
honestly,
words.
Honestly, on my news feed,
oh god,
it's all Game of Thrones. Like I can't fucking escape it, and I want to because I like the show. It was great for the most part. We'll get into specifics in a minute here. Like the overall show has secured its place in the annals of TV history as one of the greatest TV shows ever made. Like there's no question that, regardless of your opinion of the last couple seasons of the show,
it's a cultural phenomenon. I get it.
It is a cultural phenomenon. Television wise, unlike experienced in I can't even think of a good analog. Like the last time so many people came together to watch a singular program. I mean, maybe Breaking Bad. I can't really.
Oh, the Breaking Bad finale 10 times better than the fucking Game of Thrones finale. Let's just call it.
We're gonna get into that. We are absolutely. I
honestly think this might be the biggest finale, but it also could be because it's on such a bigger scale than any other finale ever. And there's no argument for that. This is on such a scale that it just pales in it just eclipses every other television finale that no matter what happened, they could have gave you the perfect ending. It still would have fucking tanked.
Game of Thrones, and this kind of speaks to fandom at large, which is something I want to get to a little later on.
Try being part of wrestling Twitter. Fuck.
It's just, there was no way that it wasn't going to be divisive, and there's just no way. I don't care. Like even if the show had gone absolutely perfectly, and every episode of the last season was just even better than the last one, and there were no complaints, like there was just absolutely no way that it wasn't going to divide the fans. And it's like you said, people are just having this extreme reaction, and like. Well, I'll get into my take on it right now. So, like, when we were watching the episode...
Not me and you, because, of course, I actually had...
Well, like me and my wife.
Well, I'm just going to say, I actually did better stuff with my Sunday night. Not by much, but I did some better things, but not,
Not by much.
Not by much.
What was I going to say? It is... my first like reaction when the episode ended was like, what the fuck did I just... It was like extreme disappointment mixed with anger. Like it was a knee-jerk reaction, and that's kind of hard to avoid, especially when, you know, it's Game of Thrones. And then as the days, because this is what, a Wednesday now, so we're a few days...
Yeah, we're 4 days after Game of Thrones, yeah.
My opinion has like wavered. I've listened to podcasts, I've watched YouTube videos, I've read articles. Like I've kind of taken in all ends, like both ends of the spectrum in terms of their opinion on the finale. So I've kind of evolved my opinion. Like I was talking to you the other day, we said off air, like and I said this on my personal Facebook page, I think. It's a good enough finale to an uneven season. But as a series, like as an exclamation mark on the series as a whole, it is absolutely and unequivocally disappointing. And it might, I can't really confirm this because I haven't gone back to watch the other episodes, but it could retroactively lessen everything that came before it.
That happens quite a bit with some of the finales for shows. And the perfect example of this, How I Met Your Mother. Because that finale, they could have told that story, and they drove it home of like, Ted's going to meet the mom, and this is going to be fantastic, and then they kill her. And not even in a great symbolic way like they did Khaleesi. No, they just, here's cancer. And... you know what? If a dragon would have killed the mom in How I Met Your Mother, it would have been a completely different show, but probably been more okay with it. I've seen pictures of that, by the way, of Khaleesi's death, and I've got to say, even not being a fan of the show, that was the moment I feel for the finale.
Well, what do you mean by the moment? Like
that's that's the big moment.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the most iconic moment from that episode.
Well, yeah, I think it honestly might like even be the most iconic moment of the entire series. I mean, this is a woman we've spent like, you know,
I don't think it's even the
with.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's the most iconic moment of the whole of the season, but I think it's the most iconic moment of the finale.
I would make an argument for it being the most iconic moment of the entire series, like the entire run, because this is a woman
gutsy.
Who has had this incredible arc. She's gone from like this broken woman who was traded off to this warlord, and she, you know, learned to find power for herself, and then she learned to take that power for herself, and then she kind of gradually became more and more confident and turned into a conqueror and then a leader of the people, and like she turned into this like the Westerosi equivalent of like she like her whole thing was she wanted to break the wheel. She wanted to move past what had, you know, been a world of tyrants and people who, you know, focus solely on power. And, you know, she was to be the breaker of change. She was supposed to be the one, you know, in the show, the parlance they use is Azor Ahai, the prince or, you know, princess who is promised to save the world from darkness. And up until this point, everyone just assumed that the prophecy meant dealing with the White Walkers, like, because the White Walkers had been established as this, really, really evil threat from the very first moment of the very first episode. And that's what everyone had assumed that the, prophecy meant. But, obviously in hindsight, with the series finale being what it is, like, everyone's kind of doubling back and like, maybe the ultimate darkness that was promised was, Khaleesi was a Dany Targaryen. I mean,
I don't know.
My problems, and like, at first I didn't like it, and as a whole, I hated the season for the most part.
It is the worst ranked. It is the worst ranked season on Rotten Tomatoes, apparently. But I take Rotten Tomatoes score with a grain of salt.
I don't honestly like. I like getting into the conversation with fans, and I like talking to people. Like, I love interacting with other people and hearing their opinions, even if
they're
we
wrong.
may disagree from time to time. Just being a part of the conversation,
even if they're wrong.
Yeah, even if they're wrong.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I mean, you're going to back up your own opinion more than you're going to back up someone else's.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly defend your opinion, but you can respect that, I'm never, like, I always believe what I think is right. I mean, that's, anyone with an opinion, but I'm not outside the possibility of being proven wrong. Like, I will defend what I feel very vigorously, but at the end of the day, if given enough evidence, or if, fought enough, like, I've been proven wrong plenty of times, and I will be the first one to admit it. I just, in terms of this show, I've lived with it for so long, and it's, each season, I remember, do you remember growing up in a time when, like, a full season for a TV show was like 24 episodes, or like 20 plus episodes?
I just finished, I'm actually on season 2 of My Name. I've just finished season 2 of My Name is Earl, and it was 22 episodes, and I'm going, this is fan-fudgin-tastic. I don't...
Like, not...
Well,
no, go ahead.
Okay, so with sitcoms, it's a lot easier to hit the 20-some mark.
Because you get, like, half-hour chunks, and sitcoms... largely each episode is kind of a self-contained story. There's not typically
there's not an arc. It's not like it's not like The Office, which has an arc. But I mean, like, the major arc of The Office is still, you could watch any episode and be okay, but there's still a major arc.
You see, I feel like the major arc of The Office is not plot based; it's character based.
Oh, it is.
You have more room. What's that?
It is the Jim and Pam love story, which, granted, is a story, but it's still based on 2 characters, and you want to know what happens between those 2 characters.
So, like, that's why The Office largely succeeds, I feel like, amongst people, is because you can jump in and out of any episode and not be lost. Like 30 Rock, for example. 30 Rock is awesome.
Actually, that's like that's my next show to binge. I have not seen that show.
I'm in the middle of binging 24 again. This used to be like one of my favorite shows of all time, so I'm kind of in the middle of binging that. But like 30 Rock is like the same thing. Like, it's like a 20 episode season, I think, and you go through and you watch it, and it's hilarious, it's funny, it's dramatic, it's everything you want a sitcom to be. I mean, sometimes there's like a light arc, but it operates just like, My Name is Earl or any sitcom or The Office, whereas the story is driven by characters and not by plot. But then you take a show like Game of Thrones, to tie it back to that show, like, you get invested in the characters, and that's, good. That's given for any form of media, whether it's book, movie, TV, whatever. Like, what gets you into it is you like the characters you're spending time with. But then when you get to narrative drama like Game of Thrones or like 24 or like Breaking Bad or whatever other big show you want to name, you get into it because you're invested in the characters, but the plot hooks you in too.
See, here's the thing.
So it's kind of a...
I was going to say, well, here's the thing for me in Game of Thrones. I gave the first season a chance. Mm-hmm. It's not that... I don't know what it was. No character grasped me. None of them made me go, you know what, that's a character I can latch onto. Because even if one would have grasped me, I could have gotten into the show. But I just couldn't get into the show. I don't know what it was about it. It's just, this isn't for me.
You know what hooked me into that first season was the character
Boobs.
that I grasped. Huh?
Boobs.
I could go on to fucking Pornhub or X Hamster and watch boobs.
I
don't
shout
need
out
Game
to
of Thrones
X.
for that.
Shout out to fucking X Hamster. I think that's the first time that's website's ever been said on this show. So kudos to you, X Hamster.
I try. We are not being paid by X Hamster for that plug.
No, actually, no comment.
Oh, okay. What was I going to say? What was I saying? I forgot. I was so lost in my own porn reference.
What's the best video you've ever watched on X?
First season. What hooked the character that hooked me? What hooked me onto that show was the character that I got into right away was Ned Stark, and then the ballsy move to kill him in the first season and not even have him make it all the way to the end of the first season was like holy shit. And then Game of Thrones just blew open the doors. Like any character could die at any time, no matter how important they are to this story. Like nobody was safe. It was thrilling, and it was something that really honestly hadn't been done, or at least done successfully in television or movies up in that point. And I'm like, this is new, this is exciting. And then, each subsequent season, like I don't, something the readers or the listeners should know about me is I've always been a sci-fi guy. Like I will always take The Matrix over Lord of the Rings any day of the week. I love science fiction. I've grown up liking science fiction. That's just my thing. I've never really liked the swords and sandals, the wizards, the dragons, but Game of Thrones just for whatever fucking reason hooked me big time. Like I was in from moment one, and I think that's a testament to how good the show was back in its heyday. That no matter how much somebody like myself, who's just not into like the Lord of the Rings style fantasy stuff, could get hooked into the show, and that the show could retroactively kind of sort of make me a fan of that kind of thing. It just speaks to the testament of the power of Game of Thrones. And I mean, I'm not the only one. I'm sure there are millions of people out there who would have never given anything like Game of Thrones a shot in hell, now counted amongst their favorite show of all time.
It's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that because I actually think the closest thing I ever get to this is The Princess Bride. I know that sounds like the weirdest thing ever, but I think that's the closest I get to enjoying anything close to Game of Thrones. Which is really weird. Which is really weird because I got a boner from medieval times.
I don't know. It's bizarre, but it just speaks to the power of that show. But then it just unraveled. Like once they went off book, once they kind of eclipsed the novels that George Martin was writing.
By the way, does George Martin look like he just sails a sailboat all the time? Like
he either looks like he's like constantly on a sailboat, or he's like the manager of an underground gay beat up club.
The first rule about Fight Club: don't talk about Fight Club. Like seriously. George R.R. Martin looks like he is auditioning to be the Horton's fisherman in every fucking picture I have ever seen him in. Like every time.
Oh my god!
Just want to point that out.
But once they eclipsed the books, things kind of like they didn't have the template to go off of, so the cracks in the armor started to show. Now, like I think the 6th season, which is the first one they did without the narrative spine of the novels to work from, I thought it was great. Like, I would even argue that the 6th season of the show is possibly the best season of the show yet. Like, it has some of my favorite episodes, like the Battle of the Bastards, the Winds of Winter, where fucking Cersei blows up the Sept and kills, like, thousands of people, which seems like pittance compared to what just happened this past, couple weeks ago. But like it just like the 6th season was really great. So it proved that these showrunners and these producers and these directors could make a good show on their own without needing George Martin's books.
But he was there to give influence.
At first. But then he kind of, I think...
No, he was on set for apparently the entire last 3 seasons. Completely on set, talking about it all the time.
Well...
Because that did come out this past week.
Well, he must have not been too happy because, like, every other article I see on Facebook or
He
Instagram or whatever,
just did an interview with I want to say Deadspin. I don't know. I read it, but I'm like, I want to eat fish sticks now. I read the interview where he goes, he didn't hate the series finale. He didn't hate the series finale, but he didn't defend the series finale. You know what I mean? Kind of like, ha ha ha. That could be what happens in my book. It may not be. It could be. It may not. It could. It not. Could. God. Not. That was what the interview was.
Either way, I think just from my perspective as my fandom, what I like out of the show, like I said, the series finale was okay. It had some brilliant moments. It had some of the worst moments of the entire run of the whole show. It had a little bit of everything. It stayed true to some of the characters for the most part, like the character work. Like I was saying earlier, you get invested in shows and movies because of the characters. So the characters themselves, their motivations for a lot of the things that happen to them or the endings that take place didn't feel like a betrayal of the characters, but the plot-wise, the except for one, which I'll get into in a minute, but the plot and the story it was too rushed. Here's a show that took its time getting where it needed to go. Like in one of the earlier seasons, Jamie gets captured by Robb Stark, who is Ned Stark's eldest son, early on in like the first season, and he spends the next season and a half or 2 seasons or whatever it is remaining in, like, he does, from the moment he gets captured to the moment he finally makes it back to Cersei and King's Landing, takes multiple seasons for it to happen. Like, they take their time and they build that story up. Now it takes Jamie less than 5 minutes to get from Winterfell to King's Landing, which is on opposite ends of the entirety of the country of Westeros. So, like, to kind of put that into perspective, when the show was back in its heyday, it would take its time getting to where it needed to do to lay the foundation of the story it was trying to tell. Now they traded those quiet, intimate moments for more like, all right, we need to hit these big moments. We need to hit the Battle of Winterfell. We need to see Dany go Mad Queen. We need to see Jon stab. Like, they were less concerned about the story they were telling and more concerned about hitting these big, epic moments that they had plotted out. And I think the storytelling kind of got lost along the way.
Well, they also tried to fit so much into, 6 episodes instead of 10 or 12?
Two of which weren't even, like, everyone at first was upset by the lack of, like, the shorter length of the season. But then we're all thinking, like, all right, well, if they end up making, like, say, each episode an hour and a half to almost 2 hours or whatever. That's
essentially 2 episodes in one.
Right. So everyone was thinking, like, all right, yeah, 6 episodes, but if they're all going to be, like, 90-minute episodes, then that kind of works out. Like, we're okay with it. But then, like, maybe a couple weeks to a month before the season actually started, it came out that the first 2 episodes were, like, fit less than an hour long, and the third episode was, like, the third and the 5th episode were, like, an hour and a half, and the 4th and the 6th were, like an hour and 20 minutes, maybe.
Like, this episode's got you so fucked up, it's giving you indigestion. Like, dear God.
It is, man. I'm so angry. I got the bubbly guts.
By the way, for everyone who emailed me, asked me what he said last week, or what he said last week to the girl, I cannot tell you. Just so I let everyone know that. Did you get I got like 30 emails about that. I just have not. I'm like, I don't know how to respond to you. I'm like, in confidentiality, I cannot tell you. But if you send me $200 on my Venmo account, I might.
You send me $200 and I'll tell you whatever the fuck you want to hear.
But that $200 has to come through me first.
So it was just the episode featured some good moments.
So let's talk about let's hit the highlights of the episode. We've already covered that Dany dies. Let's just
Dany dies. Drogon melts the Iron Throne. Like, he looks at Jon, and for a split second you think he's gonna be like, all right, motherfucker, you killed my mom, I'm gonna fucking kill your ass. But instead, he shoots the flame just beyond Jon, and they spend like a good 35 seconds just watching the Iron Throne get melted by this dragon's breath. And then in your mind, you're thinking like, all right, so thematically that makes sense because the melting of the throne means it's the melting of the old world order, like the way we used to do things. So now this is paving the way.
And out comes Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. New world order. Sorry, it was there.
No,
it was.
You're
there.
all good.
It was there.
So like thematically, like it was a cool visual watching the throne melt, but thematically it was kind of cool too because it kind of signified that like things are the way things used to be are coming to an end, and this show is gonna end on breaking the wheel after all. And in fact, Daenerys' whole storyline leading up to this moment was she wanted to break the wheel. She wanted to break the wheel, and she ended up doing that. She just had to sacrifice her life in order to break the wheel. Like she had to go Mad Queen and murder hundreds of thousands of innocent men, women, and children to get to the point where the wheel is broken. So
as Danny's doing her best Alabama senator impersonation, so as that's going on, does anyone actually get a happy ending? Honestly,
it actually, and that's a lot of people seem to be butting up against.
Arya probably has that.
Gets a happy ending.
Well, I know Arya does because that's the. By the way, HBO has come out and said now there was a bunch of rumors after Sunday that there's going to be a couple of spin-offs. We're going to go this route. HBO came out and said today that ain't happening. Shut the fuck up. In the nicest way possible. So, but Arya, man,
like they all get happy endings, and that's what I meant by the endings are true to the characters. Like, there's a point, like I think it was the third or fourth episode, maybe it was even the second episode. I'm not sure. One of the episodes this season where Jon says goodbye to Tormund and Ghost. Like I think it was the second episode, and Tormund turns to him. One of the last things he says to him is like, you can come with me to the north, not, the north, but the land beyond the wall, the true north. You are a true north. Like, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the exact words, but he says to him, like, you belong with us in the land beyond the wall. And
which is Canada, by the way.
Huh?
Which is Canada.
Claim Canada. So, like, it ends with, like, Jon being put on trial for killing Daenerys. This small council of the Lords of Westeros, Westeros.
I said Westeros, I think, is at the beginning. Did you leave me alone?
Meet in the Dragon Pit, and they decide what to do. And they decide, like, all right, we're going to elect a king. It's not going to be based on succession anymore. We're going to have a small council of all the lords are going to get together and elect the king. And their first king they pick is fucking Bran. And I lost my shit. And I was so fucking upset. And the first thing that passed through my mind was, if there's anyone on the internet who's anyone, they will have heard undoubtedly the Vegas odds about who is going to win the Iron Throne. Or who was going to sit on the throne, at least. And the Vegas odds had Bran to win the throne
by a lot,
by a landslide, and that always blew my mind because it's like Bran has been absent largely from the proceedings for the last 2 seasons. So where are they pulling this from? Which led me to believe that they had to have had some kind of insider information. And they knew how it was going to end, and they placed the odds that way based on the inside information.
My favorite meme of Bran or Braun or whatever, Brandon, Brian, whatever the fuck his name is, getting the Iron Throne was when you do a school report and do none of the work but still get the A. That's a perfect example of this.
Yeah. It is.
It is. Look, even I'm not a fan of that show, and I know that is the most boring finale you could have done.
It was, and that was the worst. Like that was possibly the worst moment of the finale. Was that whole scene in the Dragon Pit, and the discussions about electing the king and the New World Order and so on and so forth. And then after that, we flashed, and then they want to know, like, all right, what are we going to do with Jon? And then Bran, who is now king, is like, all right, we're going to send him to the Night's Watch. And my first reaction was like, why the fuck are they sending him to the Night's Watch? There's no need for a Night's Watch anymore. The wall is destroyed. The wildlings are friends of the Seven Kingdoms, and the White Walkers are Dunsky. Like, there's no need for a Night's Watch. Why are they sending him there? But then, like, I sat down and processed it and let the emotion wash over me, and then I thought to myself, well, maybe, because Bran is still the three-eyed raven, maybe he, could see, like, all right, Jon clearly belongs in the North. I'm not going to enforce this bullshit Night's Watch. Maybe he knew Jon was going to leave the Night's Watch and go north with Tormund and the wildlings, and that's how the whole episode ends. You see Jon on horseback riding next to Tormund with Ghost on his other side, and they're riding into the north, and clearly he is where he belongs. He started the show a bastard in the north, and he ended the show.
He entered.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
A Game of Thrones
I'm so
reference.
worked up.
He entered it in the north. Northish.
He ended the show in the north. So, like, character-wise, it was absolutely true to his character. Then you got Arya, who is, like, she's this badass ninja assassin who killed the Night King. So she's, like, the most badass female in all of Westeros. And her ending was very bittersweet, too, because, like, she ends up getting on a boat. She says, I don't want to go back north. I want to see what's west of Westeros. That's where the maps stop. So then her last scene on the show, you see her on this boat with a bunch of crewmen, and then, the flying the Lannister house sigil on the flag, and then, it's on the mast itself, and she's just smiling, and they're just sailing. And that's
I'm
it.
sailing away.
I'm sailing away.
They missed a perfect opportunity there. They did leave a water bottle in this week's episode, though. I don't know if anyone's seen that. I was
going to mention that, too. And then the fucking memes that poured out. Like, there was a meme I saw earlier where there's a shot of Robin Aaron from the Vale, and you see, like, a baby's bottle with tit milk in it because he, like, there's one of the running gags on the show is his mom was breastfeeding him well into his teen years still. It was such a weird thing.
You leave people alone who are like that. I turned out just fine. Continue on.
So Arya arguably got a happy ending, too, because she got to go where she wanted. She got to leave Winterfell. She got to forge her own destiny. She got her humanity back. Like,
she still should have been on the throne.
She arguably got the ending that she wanted.
She should have been the one on the throne.
I don't think... I still wanted the throne to... Honestly, I wanted the throne to get melted.
Which it kind of did.
I wanted it to... Well, it did, so I got half of what I wanted, but I wanted them to just go each kingdom to be independent of itself. Like, I didn't want there to be.
You got one of those. You got one independent kingdom out of it,
and that's where another big problem I have with the episode is Sansa gets a happy ending too, and she, after they named Bran the king, she's like, Bran, the Northmen have fought and died, and they're tired, and they've sacrificed more than anybody else. I demand independence. And Bran's just like, okay, and he just gives it to her.
Surprise!
And I have several problems with this scene, and anyone who's watched the show has had this problem too, so I'm not the only one. It's been echoed by many other podcasters and YouTubers and so on and so forth. Two big problems with the scene. One, her brother is the king, so her independence doesn't matter because her brother is the king. I can understand if it were going to be Dany on the throne. It made sense when Dany was the queen and she was alive, and Sansa was arguing for it because she didn't trust her and she didn't like her, so she wanted independence. But her fucking brother is now the king. So why do you need independence from your brother? And what pissed me off even more about this scene is why didn't every other Lord of Westeros sitting in that meeting go, yeah, I want that too. I want independence. I want my kingdom to be independent. What the fuck? Like, why didn't they all start piping up? Like, that was so bizarre. Like, if you hear this kid who's just giving out independence for no fucking reason, you're going to be like, all right, I want that too. I want my kingdom independence here. And no one fucking says a word about it. And that blew my mind.
So, would you say this is one of the worst finales of all time?
It's bad. But, like, it's not...
It's not Dexter, right, but off in a boat.
No, Dexter is still the fucking bottom. Dexter is the...
Dexter and How I Met Your Mother.
Ending. Dexter and Lost are two of the worst series finales
fucking
of all time. So, I mean, I'd put this... It's hard. Because, like, any given day of the week, my opinion changes. Like today,
you're hot and you're cold. You're yes. I'm sorry for singing. That's what I've been on a music kick. I apologize.
You're hot and you're cold. You're yes and you're no. You're in and you're out.
Look, Katy Perry is my jam, yo.
It's like when I woke up today and I my opinion changes. Like today, it was fine. Like I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I'm a little bit more cool on it now. Like I don't hate it as much as I did, but now that I'm like talking through it with you, I'm like, fuck, man, I really am actually disappointed. Like, so like it's
let the
ever
hate
shifting.
Flow through your veins.
I don't want to say it's on the lower end because I've seen plenty of shitty series.
Right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Huh?
Right in the fucking middle.
I put it in the lower middle. I'd say lower middle. Like I said, it was a good season finale, but it wasn't a good series.
You want to know who had a great season finale this year? Superstore. Go watch fucking Superstore. That was probably the best season finale.
Superstore since the first.
My God,
first season.
When
I liked it. It just got buried
God.
under like a mountain of other shit
so,
I gotta watch.
That first season, when Mark McKinney's like, I'm gonna combine this and this, and I'm gonna call it Framples. I'm done. Or like free samples, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna start calling them Framples. Or instead of a shopping cart, I'm gonna call them shirts. I died. I was like, this is now my show. This is now my new favorite sitcom. Fuck it. So yeah, no, that was a good season finale, but I apologize that the Dragon Show did not live up to your expectations.
You know what? Like thinking about it right now, if gun to head, if I had to like really kind of come to like a definitive conclusion, the ending of the series, the series finale doesn't really ultimately impact the show overall. I mean, it was just the last two seasons were extremely disappointing and way too hastily put together.
It does happen though.
I would have liked more episodes. I would have liked more time, but given with what we got, the show is one of the best things that's ever happened to the medium of television. Like,
now, I don't know if I will go that far. I don't know if I will go that far.
I really honestly would, because every fucking episode of this show was like a full-scale film production. There is no show in TV history that has ever had the budget or the level of attention levied at it.
That's going to change. That's getting ready to change. I'm calling that now, especially with Netflix's new fucking deal on the table. I don't know if you've seen this, but did you see they're releasing new Coke?
Yeah. I love Stranger Things.
I don't. I guess I really just hate like all the, what is it? The trending television. I guess I can't get into them. I did not
I like Stranger Things because I love those 80s sci-fi horror, like John Carpenter's The Thing is like my all-time favorite movie.
Do you want to know my problem with Stranger Things? I talked about it before, but I will give it again. I did not feel Stranger nor Things, but my issue with the show has nothing to do with the kids, because I think they are fantastic. I think Winona Ryder and the guy who plays the sheriff, I love them. That's fine. It is this is before the one teen became really cool. This is the teenager storyline from that first season. Absolutely took me out of that show so fast because it's like after Barb died and everyone goes on this whole kick of Barb shouldn't have died. Bring Barb back. Barb's the greatest character. Are you guys fucking stupid? Like, Barb was the equivalent of taking a shit after eating Taco Bell. Why the fuck does she even need to be there? She gave nothing of importance to that show. She's the friend you don't want to hang out with. Jesus.
Good Lord.
Fuck Barb.
I like the show. I do. But it's weird. Like, I don't know if it's just because there's been a lot of other stuff that's gathered my attention, like especially with Game of Thrones final season, Avengers Endgame, like all this other shit that's been happening in the nerd world. But Stranger Things season 3 like has kind of fallen off my radar. Like I know it's coming.
Oh,
I'm
season
excited to
2
watch
is
it.
such a let. I actually watched season 2 because I'm like, you know what? Maybe that first season, the character, like that one storyline just butt fucked me. I'm going to turn this around. And I start watching season 2 and they introduce like 8. And I'm going, this is even more dumb. I don't want this. I just want a really good story. And for me, they didn't give that to me in season 2 either.
You see, I feel like season 2, that's where you and I differ. I feel like season 2 is actually even stronger than season 1.
It's funny because I think half the staff agrees with me and then the other half of the staff agrees with you. And I'm like, well, I get it.
The way I look at it is I look at it like to make a parallel going from Alien to Aliens. Like the first Alien movie is widely considered to be one of the all-time classic horror films of all time. Right up there with Exorcist, Psycho, The Shining.
Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Nothing. Oh, I heard that. I just wanted to make sure you heard you say that.
I will go back and listen to the show and add that in, and I will make that louder so it overclips everything.
And then Alien is like considered this masterpiece, but it's like a small haunted house movie in space. And then James Cameron comes along and makes the sequel Aliens and blows the door off of the whole thing. And it's just as great as the first movie, but for wholly different reasons. Like, whereas the first one is small and haunting and terrifying and based on a singular creature that's terrorizing these blue-collar space workers. The second movie is like a Vietnam War movie where these badass soldiers go in to fight these aliens and you're thinking to yourself, all right, they're going to prevail because these blue-collar dudes from the first movie were able to handle the one alien, but then it turns out, like, you know, there's, like, a queen and a whole nest, and it's two different movies, and they're both equally great for different reasons, and that's kind of, like, the parallel for Stranger Things. Whereas Stranger Things Season 1 is about the Demogorgon and finding out about 11. It's kind of a little bit of a smaller tale.
By the way, was the Demogorgon just the most disappointing villain ever? I don't know. I was kind of that's what it is. Okay.
I didn't honestly care about I don't want to say I didn't care about the monster. I was more focused on the kids.
No, that's what makes the show.
The reason to watch that first season.
And then I felt like they screwed that dynamic up in the second one by adding the other kid, and I'm just like, no, why? And just, I don't know. But they're introducing new Coke. So Netflix has this deal now where we're going to see product placements in shows like this.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Netflix doing commercials, this is what we're going to get. You know the budgets for these shows are going to go up a lot. Say
that one more time?
The budgets for these shows are going to go up a lot. You know that. Well, I mean, think about it. If they're going to throw advertising money in like that, we're going to see a lot more stuff coming from Netflix. It's going to be shitty.
Well, I'm looking at the post you just shared on the Facebook page of all the Netflix stuff coming, and there's like Black Mirror season 5, Designated Survivor season 3, Jessica Jones the final season of Orange is the New Black.
prison Donna?
But fucking,
I call it like I see it, man. I can't do anything. That is Donna Pinciotti in prison. Leave me alone.
You don't have to leave me alone.
There's some good stuff coming. Like, there's really some the confession tape season 2. Like, I know everybody out there who loves the killer stuff. That'll be fun. There's Miranda Sings Live. 100% into that. Let's do that. I'm in. There's some good stuff coming. Netflix is gonna kill it. Netflix is getting ready to kill it.
I think they're going to kill it for the next few months, but then Disney Plus is going to come along and just completely butt-fuck them into submission, to be honest with you.
Speaking of... Okay, like, I have to get this off my chest. I have never said what I'm about to say on a show before. But, dude, I hope you burn your dick on a Hot Pocket.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
So last week, the news breaks that fucking Robert Pattinson is goddamn Batman.
Yes. Okay, let's get into this.
And I think I probably had like the best tag ever. It's like, well, at least his like internal clock doesn't have to change. And I'm just pissy about this.
You heard it here first on TBK Live, folks.
You motherfucker. He's just like, it's going to be Robert Pattinson, everybody. I can remember. It's like, I think it's from an episode in January or February. And you cocksmoker just was like, you called it. So Edward Cullen is now Batman.
I have never wanted to be more wrong in my life and hate that I'm right. Like, I hate it so much. But I have to go by the Heath Ledger rule. Like, I hated it when they announced Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, and he ends up being one of the greatest cinematic
and I
villains of all time.
defended that shit. I defended Heath Ledger, and I'm sitting here going, Robert Pattinson's going to be a terrible Batman. Because the last time I defended a fucking DC character, they made him a Hot Topic Joker. And I fucking ain't doing it again.
I really, really despise the fact that they gave up on Ben Affleck for fucking Robert Pattinson. But
oh, look, Robert Pattinson's going to be 100 times better than Ben Affleck. I'm sorry. But it's not going to say much. Like, it's just kind of like, meh. We should have had Matt Damon as Batman. I'm still sad Matt Damon wasn't like Superman.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
How about those apples?
You fucking know that Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman of all time, and you have the audacity, sir, to say, ooh, I'm going to tank the rest of the show now. Just going to sit here.
So hold up.
Tank.
Wait, Ben Affleck is your favorite Batman over Michael Keaton. Over, well, look, Christian Bale's Batman's just, I can't get past I'm Batman. I just can't do that. But over Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer and George Clooney's Bat Nipples and the God himself, Adam fucking West. Like, over all of them.
I don't share the same reverence for Adam West Batman that everybody else does, so that's an easy one for me.
That's sad. That is just sad. That show, at least they had a Riddler. Because you know who
that's not...
Meh, that is something.
Okay, well, I think we should save this for a nerd debate. Because this is going to get extremely heated very fast.
I could play the nerd debate theme and just say fuck it at this point.
Because I will fight you tooth and nail about how Ben Affleck is a better Batman than fucking... Ooh.
You're so pissed someone just called the cops.
Right,
I was going to say someone just called the cops on you. Fuck, man. Look, okay, so taking Adam West out of the equation because it's television and that's a different medium. Now I actually am sitting here thinking about this. Like, my personal favorite movie Batman is Val Kilmer. Shut your mouth. And
you just trying to be an asshole right now?
No,
because it's working.
No, but I convinced the Michael Keaton Batman cosplayer at Fan Expo Dallas 3 years ago that George Clooney was the best Bruce Wayne. I should have a cult. That's all that I'm saying.
That's not a wrong assessment. Like, I think George Clooney is good as Bruce Wayne.
But Bat Nipples.
I just think his Batman is just the fucking worst Batman ever. No, the second worst Batman. Val Kilmer is the worst of everybody.
No, I actually believe Christian Bale is the worst Batman, but he got such good actors playing the villains, it changed everything.
Christian Bale's
Batmobile isn't even a fucking Batmobile. It's a goddamn tank. Christian Bale can go suck my nuts.
Jesus.
Speaking of sucking nuts, do I go on my rants now? Is that where we are at this point in the episode? Because
if you take it where you want to, sir, you are the steward of this ship.
Well, some days I'm not. I can just go ahead and tell you that now. Where do I begin? You know what? So running an online magazine where you do content that involves the geek and nerd / communities. Do you know how hard it is to find fucking shit to post with articles like photos and shit? Do you know how hard that is?
Okay.
And it's
I can imagine.
Yeah. So with certain articles, you post something, and it's supposed to be fair use content. I'm bringing it up. I don't give a shit. And then you get some fucking email from some jackass lawyer and photographer who has, 1, no idea what the fuck you do, 2, probably is sitting there writing a damn cock while they're fucking putting their image in the Google image search because they want to have a boisterous fucking day, and sends you this giant letter going, you can take my picture down, but I'm still going to sue you for $150,000 fucking dollars. Which, by the way, the picture itself only cost $120. But here's the thing: when I used the photo, it was fair use photo, and then the jackass decides to copyright it in like 2016 on an article the picture was used in an article from 2014 or 15. And the fun part is he may not even own the fucking photo in the first place.
Good grief.
This is the second time I've had to deal with this motherfucking lawyer out of fucking California. I'm not going to name names because the dude's a cock. But if you want to send pictures of your dicks, send me an email.
Do you think this is just retaliation or getting back at you for
something I did?
You know. Well, no. I'm not saying against him personally. But
I didn't fuck his daughter on prom night. Like, I don't know.
Well, like the last time you guys kind of butted heads over the legality of using a picture, and you kind of bested him.
I called him out again on it, and they haven't responded. But my thing with this is if there's this deal of copyright trolls, and what they do is they single out websites, and they just keep sending them shit like this. It's pretty much a form of extortion. They're going to keep sending you shit, and will send you as much crap. They will spend as much money as humanly possible. By the way, the fucking address from where this nutsack decided to send shit from the last time comes back to a construction company.
Oh man, that's respectable.
And I'm like, yeah, no, that fucking helps. So, nah. But yeah, so this nutsack decides he likes to send these letters out to these smaller websites to try to get money from them, and some people will see that, freak the fuck out, and just pay them right up, and that's how they make their money. Because once you pay them once, you're going to get sued, or you're going to get those letters multiple times because they know you're an easy target. They are pieces of shit. They are an STD on life.
So now, do you have to take this particular article down?
Nope, it's up. I took the photo out of it, which should be, honestly, in all fairness, I have had an issue with copyright before. Like a legit issue where the copyright holder emailed me. And I actually framed it. Because it's from Marvel. Because it was when the Avengers, I want to say it's when the Civil War trailer came out at Comic-Con. And somebody filmed it with their phone. And then like all the outlets got it at once.
Oh man, I got a story for you after you finish.
And I posted it. And I get a letter, like an email 2 days later, going from the head of Marvel, from Marvel's like law department, whatever it is, from Captain America himself. So, because you know, if somebody's gonna call you out on that shit, it's Steve Rogers. So Like I get the letter. I get the letter that says, "Please look, take down our video. We won't do anything in retaliation. But if you don't take down our video, we're gonna kill your firstborn." And then, like 4 hours later, they posted the actual video of the trailer on YouTube.
That's fucked up.
And I don't think they knew they were gonna do that. I feel like there was some like wires crossing. So yeah. So I
bet you at that point they were probably just like, well, this shit's gonna leak everywhere. We might as well just dump it on the internet.
Like at this point, fuck it, we're done. So that happened. And if we use something by accident and you send us a letter telling me, hey, either take it down or we're gonna take it down, it's respectful to whoever it is, because I want to try to. Like, my idea is if I use a photo in something, I want to credit, one, the photographer, because I fucking do that myself, you damn dick sticks. And then two, I want to make sure that whatever the photo's for is actually a part of something, which automatically falls into fair use, because the goddamn photo's about the fucking X-Files, or the article is, and the photo we used is of fucking Mulder and Scully. My fucking God. Like, it was your Doctor Who X-Files article.
God damn, that was so fucking long ago.
Yeah, like at this point, I feel like statute of limitations is past here. Like, we're at this point. So, yeah. So this motherfucker sends me this email, and he actually puts in the email, well, if you Google me, you will know that I'm very serious, and I will end up, and I'm paraphrasing, I will destroy you.
Oh, good Lord.
And my response was a gif of Thanos doing the snap.
Oh, I love it.
Because honestly, I'm almost $100,000 in debt from school. I have seizures. I'm pretty much going to say this now. The only money you're going to get from me is from me sucking dick on a street corner. So, like, you're going to get like $6.
That's a cheap job.
No, it's because I have to pay them like 18. I'm actually worth 24, but they end up getting 18 of their money back. It's a coupon thing I've got running.
Oh, it's a good investment.
Yeah, no. I have BJ cubes, and you can find them on Groupon.
Or Shop TBK Live.
Yeah, it's just TBK. Look, you should find that at Shop TBK, tbkmagazine.com/Shop TBK. I swear to God, they're going up. Like, we're going to have blowjob cubes. Like, so,
oh my God.
$18 off blowjob.
This guy's probably just, it's probably a bot. It's got to be a bot.
Okay,
right?
so when they send the mail, okay, so it says it's from his studio, but then, you look up who the photographer is, and I'm not going to name him by name because, one, I just want to kick him in a dick. And two, so if you look him up, him and the lawyer that tried to sue me the first time started their own company, and their whole plan is to get photos. Like, if you were to search, let's use the X-Files as a search. So if you were to search the X-Files on Google, in Google Images, like the first 30 photos, about 15 of them are going to be his. So he started this company to where it will raise the value of the pictures to where it'll show up in the top. So when like independent bloggers and stuff on the internet who are just trying to make content post something, surprise. Yeah. So the idea is so that way they can. It's a horrible way. It's a horrible practice. These guys are shysters. They're pieces of shit. They should not even be. Look, they should have their dicks cut off and fed to them. Actually, I take that back.
You are all about dick severing today.
I know.
What's that about?
I watched something the other day, and it's just like, man, it stuck with me for some reason.
Did you ever see that movie Teeth?
That is an absolute fantastic movie. Like that vagina that eats dicks. Like that.
Dude, that's like the scariest movie I've ever seen, it for no other reason than watching dicks get.
If you're still a virgin and you watch that movie, you are fucked.
Speaking of dicks getting bit off, so I went and saw John Wick Chapter 3 the other day. And
is this a spoiler alert?
Well, not really. I mean, this is a movie where Keanu Reeves kills people for 2 hours. Like, it's not really much of a spoiler.
Oh, so it's Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure all over again.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Trip to Vietnam.
I'm telling you. They name me one outside the John Wick films and the Bill and Ted movies. Can you please name me one good Keanu Reeves movie? And I don't count The Matrix because I do not enjoy those.
Constantine. Knock Knock.
I thought the television version of Constantine was better than the movie.
You're fucking high as a kite right now.
I was 2 weeks ago.
Constantine, yes. Knock Knock, Street Kings.
Was he in Hardball?
Hardball, Devil's Advocate. I mean, I'd keep going.
Just don't like Keanu as an actor.
I think he's one of my top 5 actors.
No, I think he's a great person. I just don't like him as an actor. But there's like a couple of guys I'm like that with, so I can't say much.
But this movie, it's just like, I was saying to you earlier how I was kind of feeling the fatigue of all the fantasy stuff. Like, this movie is perfect, back down to earth. It's just a good action film, and it's just Keanu Reeves capping motherfuckers for 2 hours, and this is one of the best modern action franchises of all time, hands down. Like, just straight action. I'm not talking like with the qualifier of it being a Marvel movie or some science fiction, just like straight action adventure movie. This is one of the best. And there's a scene where he goes to talk with one of the bad guys. I don't want to go into too much detail for fear of spoilers for people who haven't seen it yet. But there's a scene where he meets Halle Berry. And we all know Halle Berry is not the greatest actress in the world.
Oh, come on. Catwoman was fantastic. Who are you trying to kid?
But holy fuck, Richard. Not only was she hot as fuck in this movie, and I mean hot as fuck, she was badass. Like, Halle Berry is coming back in a big, bad fucking way. She was so awesome in this movie. That's what I walked out of that movie thinking, like, holy fuck, I want to get in bed with Halle Berry right now.
Can I say something crazy?
Yes.
I believe Halle Berry's best movie is The Flintstones.
Is your goal to push me right up to the edge today? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm trying to get you to reenact a Creed song, sir. 6 feet from the edge, and I think I'm jumping.
But and there's a scene where he goes to meet her, and then she takes him to meet this Kingpin Underlord dude, and her whole shtick is she's an assassin too, but she has these dogs, these German Shepherds who are trained, and they wear like bulletproof armor and shit. And there's a scene where she sicks one of the dogs on this dude, and the dog rips this dude's dick off, and it was the biggest holy shit, well, not the biggest holy shit moment of the movie, but one of the biggest holy shit moments of the entire movie, and I just could not stop laughing.
Okay, hold on.
Great.
How can you argue that Halle? What do you believe is Halle Berry's best movie?
Oh God.
She was great in X-Men. Like, I enjoyed her in X-Men as Storm, but I don't believe
you fucking high? That's
yes!
one of her worst movies.
I actually, because those X-Men movies were strong. You leave me alone, damn it.
X-Men 2 was strong.
I enjoyed the first one, too. The third one, here.
All right, I got her IMDb page.
So do I. This is what I'm saying. I believe her best movie is the fucking Flintstones. You can. I don't give a shit if you're mad at me or not.
She was good in her cameo in Kingsman.
You said no. I want to go featured fucking role. Someone, if her name has to be on the fucking poster.
Okay. The Call was good.
That was a WWE film. That movie was awful.
I liked that movie. Perfect Stranger was good.
Oh, Monsters Ball was pretty good. I can't really say much. I take back what I said.
Gothica was good.
Gothica was okay. Still the Flintstones.
She was good in Swordfish.
I'm going to stick by my guns. It's still the Flintstones.
I honestly, like, looking at all these movies.
You're like, it's the fucking Flintstones, isn't it? Like, you're like, well, the Flintstones has to be at least the top 5.
I think her best movie is definitely Monsters Ball.
Well, yeah, but you have to agree. The Flintstones is up there for one of her best movies. Like, you have to say it.
No, I'd put Gothica above the Flintstones.
No, but in general, like, out of all the movies, it has to be in her top 5 greats. Look at
You
her
have to let
movie.
me marinate on that for a little bit.
Look at her movie list. You cannot tell me that the Flintstones movie that has John Goodman.
No,
and
I could pick 5 movies. All right, hold on. I'm going to pick 5 movies off this list right now. Okay,
It's better
so we
than
got,
the fucking Flintstones with John Goodman and I can't think of the other guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Rick Moranis.
Gothica is better than Flintstones.
Yeah, no, I didn't say it was better. I'm just saying that is her best movie, in my opinion.
I don't agree. I think you're losing your fucking mind.
I'm telling you, man. It's because we sure as hell know it ain't Catwoman.
But to my point, John Wick Chapter 3, amazing movie. She is absolutely going to come back in a big bad way and start making some badass fucking movies.
I'm going to get a bunch of messages.
I feel it.
I'm going to get a bunch of messages after this episode like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And this is the person you get to record. You get to record the other show coming up.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one.
So the other thing. Oh, wow. So the other thing I want to rant over, it happened to me this morning on Twitter. I'm one of those people who don't get into Twitter beefs. I'm more into Twitter chicken sandwiches or whatever, but I'm not going to get into an argument with somebody on Twitter.
Okay.
It's just not, meh. To me, it's just not worth it.
It's a lost cause. People are, to try and have intelligent, thought-provoking discourse with another human being on Twitter is like trying to stare at the sun and not have your eyes get like burnt to a crisp. Like,
you just described the president of the United States. Do you not remember when he did that when the eclipse happened? He just went out there without anything on. And
he's just staring up at the fucking sun like a goddamn idiot. Oh, man.
What's the big bright thing in the sky, Dave?
I tried once. I like right
to
after
stare at the sun?
No. Having an intelligent conversation with someone on Twitter. I got into a debate like a couple weeks after Trump got elected into office.
Which was a bad time to be on the internet in general.
That was probably the worst time to be on Twitter ever.
The time frame in between November 8th and January 20th when he got sworn in, the worst fucking time to be on the internet.
Yep. And I thought I could have an intelligent conversation with somebody about it, and nope. It turned into like a cuss fest back and forth, and it was just like it is impossible to have a polite, engaging conversation with someone on Twitter. It is just a desolate wasteland of trolls.
This is true. I'm going to say that's like 88% true. I think there's some good people on Twitter, but let's get into the Twitter conversation here. So
okay.
We've all been to comic conventions. So this is going to be an understanding of this happens. Shut the fuck up. All right. So this weekend is, and I don't like to mix shows, but it involves this. So this weekend is Double or Nothing, and it's All Elite Wrestling's first show. And I talked about how they're going to be on TNT in our last episode, so woot on that. But they were selling a package before the convention, before the pay-per-view. Like, we knew nothing about anything. No names were announced for the convention. Nothing. Okay, so I want to put that in perspective. Nothing had been announced. You could get tickets to the pay-per-view, you could get tickets to the convention, and you can get tickets to the after party. And it was like the good seats for everything.
Okay.
So it was $1,000 package. So 4-day convention, tickets to the wrestling show, and the party after. It's a lot of money, but it's Vegas. That makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2 tickets per package, too. So that's really not bad. Okay. And $600 of that would have been the platinum bracelets. So I want to take this into consideration. Okay, so no names have been announced. So they start announcing names for the convention, and 4 names, 2 of them got pulled. One of them had Ric Flair just went in the hospital and had surgery, and then another wrestler just passed away.
Okay. So 4 names immediately off the list.
Yeah. And this dickwad, this cum stain on the underwear of life, starts complaining about wanting a refund. Now, it's one thing if you buy like a meet and greet for, say, one of the wrestlers that were pulled. Like that's they're going to give you that refund, or for Ric Flair or whatever. They're going to give you the refund for that. But they're not going to refund your entire fucking ticket.
No, because there's other shit to do there.
Not to mention you bought a package, so they would have to refund the entire package, and then you would still get to go. And that, to me, sir, is bullshit. So here's what's happened on Twitter. This cockknocker, which is probably now my new favorite term, so hashtag cockknockers. This cockknocker is tweeting obsessively with, and the wrestler who passed away committed suicide. And I'm not going to make light or say what he said, but let's just say it is some of the most tasteless content I've ever seen on Twitter. And that's
a lot saying that about Twitter.
That's saying a lot. So Dick Pickles decides to he starts also doing the bigoted, the homophobic, the just racist, horrible comments, and then keeps, like, on every tweet that comes out about the convention from, like, people that are going to be there and everything, he keeps talking about how he should get a refund. Well, yesterday, this son of a bitch, and I don't even care at this point, this bastard starts talking about how he has terminal cancer and needs to feed his family. All right, you and I both know what I'm about to say here, right?
Wait, well, hold on. So he's been bitching this whole time about dropping hundreds and hundreds of dollars
By
on his package.
$1,000, yeah.
Thousands of dollars, whatever, on this package to go to this thing because 4 people canceled. And now suddenly he's going to start saying he wants the refund because he needs to feed his family. Why the fuck did you spend $1,000 on a wrestling package if your family needed food to begin with?
Priorities. So his reason, by the way, so a few months ago, there's a wrestler that had to take time off because he was battling leukemia in the past and it came back.
Mm-hmm.
The wrestler came back and he was doing the pill treatment because there's 4 different types of leukemia. And he had this certain type, and I can't go into details because I'm not medically inclined enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we know he's better now. He looks smaller than he did. I mean, that pretty much says it. But this dude says that guy was faking cancer because he had his hair.
My God.
So then this numbnuts posted that he has cancer, and that's why he needs the money. And my first thought was, did you really just call out somebody for lying about, like, you saying they lied about cancer when you yourself lied about having cancer? You are the dredge of the internet.
God damn.
If Sarlacc pits were real, you would be thrown in one.
You know, I have my hang-ups about society's over-reliance on social media, which sounds hypocritical because I am very much a slave to social media. I like Facebook because Facebook is largely like your friends. Like, you can curate the content to the people that you like and the pages you like. So if you really wanted to, you could filter out all the negative bullshit. Twitter is a lot harder to do that with.
See, my Facebook's harder to do that on than Twitter.
You think so? I feel it's the opposite. I don't know.
So
I just it sucks that people got to be shitty just to get attention.
Yeah, and now this jackass is complaining about being blocked by people on Twitter. Not to mention,
he's being an asshole.
Not to mention, he stole a friend of mine's photo and is using that as his profile photo now. He's a wannabe rapper. Because, of course. And Like, by the way, I've definitely heard better rhymes from Vanilla Ice impersonators.
You got to tell me who this person is off air.
Oh, I'll go ahead and do it on air. I don't give a shit. If you want to inundate his damn Twitter, it's Dabbin' Aladdin.
Dabbin' Aladdin.
Yep. He has a podcast on YouTube, or a YouTube show, I guess, where he talks wrestling. And I'm like, okay, I'll watch 5 minutes of it. There is a wrestler whose dad passed away during 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes on this whole tirade about how she's going to win a match because, well, her dad died on 9/11 and they're going to feel sorry for her. And I'm like, dude, fuck you. Who says this shit? So
he must be really lonely.
That's what I said too.
Grasping for attention.
Like at this point, I'm sure his only friend right now is probably his mom because he still lives in her basement. And then also the fleshlight that is next to his bed. Which I'm sure is a twin-size bed in a football frame. Or a race car. I'm going to call it like I see it. And he sells vape. He sells vape like attachments and attachments for bongs. That's what he does on the internet, folks.
Hold on, let me pull up Twitter right now.
Yes. That is not his real photo, but you can actually see the best response I have ever had for any tweet ever.
What was his name again?
Dabbin' Aladdin.
Dabbin', that's the fucking worst name ever.
Yeah, I know. That's yeah.
Dabbin' Aladdin. Oh. The champ smokes face blunts.
That is the name of the show. I don't want to give. I hate giving people publicity on anything, but I'm like, fuck it. Please go to tweets. You know what? Go to the TBK magazine page because that's where this is all happening on. I'll give you this.
Okay.
Go to the TBK magazine Twitter page. Speaking of which, if you're not following us, you should. We're fun.
Okay, I'm on the Twitter page. Well, because
Okay.
I'm logged in all the time under our.
Okay, I want you to go to tweets and replies.
Okay.
I want you to scroll down, sir. You will see a photo of me circling this dude's head that says, "Holy shit, that's hair."
Fun, they won't give it. Oh, holy shit, that's hair. That's great.
Dude,
Holy fuck, this dude's a fucking scumbag. I'm just reading some of these tweets. God damn.
Yeah.
That's
He also called me a gypsy today, so I was like, I have peaked on the internet. And all his likes come from burner accounts. So ask how I know that.
How do you know that?
Because all of them have the same misspelling cues.
Good lord.
So, like, if you're gonna like your own post, at least make it look like you're not trying to like your own post for the love of shit. That's Twitter 101, kids. So that's why I'm mad today. You don't fucking talk about faking cancer, you piece of fucking shit. Oh my god.
This guy just looks like a dirtbag. He looks like the kind of guy that pays for sex.
With his mom.
Ah!
Like, yeah. So that happened. That's what I am.
Oh, man.
That's what I had to deal with today. Yep.
I'm sorry. That looks entertaining because that guy just looks like a cocksucker. But what is wrong with your life that you feel the need to like? Why? Why does
You
there
can
need
see the
to be
post.
that negativity?
If you go to his page, you can see the post I'm talking about. I will not discuss those, but yeah.
No, I'm on his page right now. I'm looking. I don't want to look anymore because it's aggravating the fuck out of me.
Yeah, no,
just why? What is the point of being that negative? Like, what purpose does it
Oh,
serve
so
you?
his idea,
How
by
is
the
it
way,
making your life better?
you'll appreciate this. His thought is that he is a wrestling heel, which in terms for anybody who does not know what heel means, is a bad guy. He is saying that he is playing a character on the internet.
I hate life sometimes.
And this dude has heat, which in wrestling terms mean that people don't like him, but they actually, like
he's got momentum.
But here's my one statement to this of you're not in the wrestling business. That just makes you an asshole.
Yeah, you're just a dick on the internet. That's all you are. Don't try to
And not even a good-looking dick. You're an uncut dick. You are an uncircumcised penis that just looks like the fucking alien popping out of a goddamn John Hurt's belly. That's what you look like.
Ooh, nice reference.
Thank you. So that's where I'm at. You know what? Let's do something happy. I'm in the mood for something motherfucking happy. Are you in the mood for something fucking happy?
I'm always in the mood for something happy.
I don't even
for a happy ending.
Oh God, I don't even know what this. Like I'm still like I'm cranky. Like I'm all pissy right now because of this shit.
All right, let's turn it around.
What? So last week we asked you guys to send us some mailbag questions, and you did. So I appreciate that. But first,
Ooh, we're gonna do mailbag.
First, we're gonna do. It's time to play Who Wants to Win a Happy Meal.
Oh!
All right, so here's how the game works. If anybody's ever seen Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you know how the game is played. Brody's going to get 5 questions. Dun, dun, dun. You will have, they're all 5 multiple, well, 4 of them are multiple choice. The 5th question you have to answer. We will know if you Googled. I'm just going to let you know now.
Because it's an impossible question I won't get. Is that
No, not at all. Like it's a question I feel like you will you're gonna nail it. So you're 100% gonna get it right. The first 4 questions are multiple choice, and you have lifelines on the first 4 questions. You can choose to use one lifeline on the final question, and it will be a phone a friend that will be a multiple choice.
Okay.
And by friend, I don't know if the word friend is what should actually be used there, but it's a phone call to someone else. Does that help?
Okay. Not really, but let's go. I'm excited. Let's do it.
All right. So here we go. It is time to play Who Wants to Win a Happy Meal. The first part of this is for the drink. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Which streaming service used to send DVDs by the mail to your home? Is it A, Hulu?
Netflix.
You shut up. You have to listen to the fucking multiple choices.
Sorry.
Is it A, Hulu, B, Netflix, C, Crackle, or D, Pornhub?
Ooh. Man, if Pornhub sent DVDs to my fucking house,
If
I'd be in
Pornhub's,
a world of trouble.
I was gonna say if Pornhub sent DVDs, we're gonna be in a much happier place. People wouldn't be assholes on the internet. What is your answer?
It's B, Netflix.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Ding, ding! I think that's the first correct answer I've ever gotten on any game we've ever played on this show.
You have won the drink of the Happy Meal. No. Next up, Apple Crisp.
Noise.
At the Apple Crisp. The television show The Office is set in what Pennsylvania city? Is it Scranton?
Okay.
Is it A, Scranton, Pennsylvania, B, Boston, Massachusetts, C, Chicago, Illinois, D, Little Rock, Arkansas?
A, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Is that your final answer?
It is correct.
You are 2 for 2.
What?
You now have a drink and some Apple Crisp. By the way, if you don't get,
I hate Apple Crisp, but
yeah, well, if you don't get
if
the
I don't
fifth,
get what?
I'm going to let you know. If you don't get the 5th question right, you lose everything. Just letting you know.
Sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe with the third one.
Complete the following title of a television show. Game of blank.
Oh, Jesus.
A, really bad endings. B, that one show. C, Thrones. D, all of the above.
I see what you're doing here. You're making all of these questions super easy, and you know I'm going to fuck up the last one. I'm going to get it all taken away.
That is not true. That is not true.
It's it's Thrones. It's Thrones.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct. You have now won the French fries. Oh,
man, what's next?
do you want a burger or chicken nuggets?
Fuck them chicken nuggets. I want myself a burger.
All right, with cheese or no cheese?
Cheese.
Okay, good. I was going to call you a heathen if you didn't. What villain does Harley Quinn have a relationship with? Is it A, Poison Ivy? B, Galactus? C, Rodney Dangerfield? D, my mom? What the hell?
Okay, so you forgot somebody.
No, I didn't.
In those answers
No, I
that
didn't.
she's most notably known for.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, we all know she's with the Joker, but I mean, at this point, you should know who else she's with.
I mean, it's Poison Ivy. The answer is Poison Ivy.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to build some suspense here. Is he right? You have won the cheeseburger! Oh.
Cheeseburger.
It played twice. All right. It is now the fifth and final question. You do have a phone a friend.
Okay.
If you're willing to take it, you have it on the table.
Okay.
By the way, here are your choices for your phone a friend. You have world-renowned scientist Dr. Science. You have everyone's favorite Batman, Awkward Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have Charlie. So, I mean, it's
just Charlie.
It's just a take your pick here of what you really want. Are you ready for that final question?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. The final question. There is no multiple choice answer here. You have to get this from your own.
Okay.
The question is, who won the 1961 Best New Artist Grammy?
What?
Who won the 1961 Best Artist Grammy?
You are an asshole.
Is that correct? Am I an asshole?
Yes,
that is correct.
Oh, God. Best artist? Best new artist?
1961 Grammy for Best New Artist.
How the fuck would I know something like... All right, hold on.
You're Googling
Let me work through this for a second. Give me... I'm not Googling. I refuse to. I know I'm going to get it wrong anyway, you fucking prick. I don't know. I don't. All right, give me a phone a friend. Let's do phone a friend.
All right, which one of the three would you like?
What are my fucking options again?
The world-renowned scientist, Dr. Science. Mm-hmm. Awkward Batman or Charlie. Yeah, you're screwed. That's all I'm going to say. You're pretty much screwed. All right.
Give me Charlie.
You're going with Charlie. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Charlie is not home.
What the fuck?
We are sorry for your loss. So you're going to have to do this on your own. Do you have a guess?
I don't even know where to start. 1961.
Best New Artist Grammy.
Who was popular? Who was popular? Is it somebody I know at least?
I can't give you hints. That's not how the show works.
1961. All right, you got it. Is it the... Oh, God. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm getting something here.
You're Googling it.
1961. No, I'm not. I swear to God. I'm on my phone right now, and I don't even know where my iPad's at, so I'm not Googling it. What happened in 1961? Was that like around like Peggy Lee? No, that could maybe.
Is that what you're going to go with?
No. 1961. What happened in No, I just... Wait a minute. 1961. Wasn't that the year Breakfast at Tiffany's came out?
The movie? Or the song? Yeah. I said, what about the movie? Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Stop. You know what I meant.
Yes, Breakfast at Tiffany's did come out in 1961. Deep Blue something for the win.
Henry Mancini.
What?
It could. Well, Henry Mancini was the one who wrote the song "Moon River," and that's probably what was big at the Grammys that year. But that he wouldn't be
Moon River.
A new artist.
Is that really what?
I don't know.
Is Harry Mancini your guess?
Harry Mancini. Yes.
Is that your final answer? Now, just know before you say yes. If before you say yes, if you're wrong, you lose everything.
I mean, he's not a new artist. He's established enough at this point to not be classified as a new artist. But I mean, that's the only thing I can think of from the '60s. Their 1961 was Moon River, and I mean, I don't.
Final answer?
I don't know. Yeah, that's my final answer.
Is he a happy millionaire? Let's see what I did there.
Yeah, I saw what you did there.
Here we go. Is he right? I love The Price is Right losing tuba with Ric Flair's Woo. It just makes me happy inside. The actual answer is comedian Bob Newhart.
Hold on. Fuck you. Wait a minute.
I'm
Googling this.
I'm
Googling it.
Now I'm not making this up.
I'm calling this into question. So, I'm Googling this right now. I'm on Grammy.com. And the 4th annual Grammys, which take place in 1961, if you scroll down and you look at Best New Artist.
Yeah, I pulled it off. I can tell you.
Scrolling.
Yeah, because you're like, Harry Mancini won Best for Album.
It is not Bob Newhart.
It is Bob fucking Newhart.
Nope, that's not what it says on the website.
I'm going to Best New. Oh, it's Peter Nero. You're still wrong. In fact, I want you to know.
I still fucked up, but
I want you to know.
Fucked up too.
I want you to know something. I got it off. I probably shouldn't trust Wikipedia, but I got it off Wikipedia. And in Bob Newhart. I was right.
You see where
it's the year of the Grammy would have been 1960.
I feel like I should get another.
It's the third annual. No, it's the third annual Grammys, not the 4th annual, but it is the 1961.
But you said 1961,
yes,
not 1960.
Yes, look at it again. Because the 3rd annual Grammys were held in 1961. The 4th ones were held in 1962. Suck my nuts.
I call bullshit.
You're just like, I'm pissed off now. When is? Oh god.
I mean, I'm not. It was a game. It was fun. I did better than I've ever done.
The 3rd annual Grammy Awards
Um,
took place. The actual award show itself was April 1961, which would have been the 1961 Grammys, which I probably should have went with I should have went with annual instead of year. But if you go to the 3rd annual Grammy Awards, because the Grammy started in 1959, and go up, look it up, Best New Artist. And is the best new artist of 1960.
it says Bob Newhart, but you said 1961.
Yeah,
that's what I looked
he won
up,
the award.
Peter Nero.
Yeah, because he won the award in 1961. He would have been the 1960 best. Like, who won the best new artist in 1961? Look, it was the Grammys in 1961. Bob Newhart won. You can look it up. He won for Best New Artist in 1960. By the way, a stand-up comic won Best New Artist. That will never fucking happen again. But you did not win a Happy Meal.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Tune in next time to find out if Brody will win a spelling bee. Because that's
We doing a spelling bee next?
Yeah, every so often we do a we do a spelling bee game as well.
I like spelling bees. So that'll be fun.
Let's do it. It is now time to reach deep into our mailbags, or deep down into our bags, and pull out some mail. Oh crap! I don't have the theme. Hold on. Oh
Ooh.
god, I'm still mad about this whole Bob Newhart thing and you questioning me.
You fucked up.
I did not fuck up.
Tomato.
Tomato. I am sorry, I'm not on my A game right now. I'm on my B+ game today.
Mail time.
Here we go.
Moving my list.
It's mail time.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me wanna wag my tail. When it comes, I wanna wail. Mail!
All right. You know, Blue's Clues. Such a fantastic show. When you're stoned. All right.
Oh, man, I love mail. I'm so excited about this. I love these mailbag questions.
You can do this hashtag TBK mailbag on Twitter, and we'll search that as well, or send us an email on our website at tbkmagazine.com. Also, Facebook, TBK mailbag. All right. What is the best fast food? I don't know why you guys are asking. Is this because we're fat?
It?
Yeah, are we fat? I mean, I'm fat, but okay. Let's turn this around.
Fat foods, that's for sure.
Let's make the ultimate fast food meal. Let's take all the different fast foods and like do like the best burger and like the best fries and like drink and.
Okay, all right.
Let's do it that way.
I got this. So, the best burger is a double Baconator from Wendy's.
You know what? I was getting ready to say shut your mouth, but then I don't know if I can argue this. That's a really good burger.
If you think about it, McDonald's burgers are not great, but they're good.
They taste like ass.
Pinch when it's like 4:00 in the morning. Yeah, but when you're drunk and you're coming home from the bar and McDonald's is the only fucking place open.
I like their double quarter pounders because they're fresh now. Or like their quarter pounder beef. Like their burgers are a little bit more fresh now.
Their crispy chicken sandwich I like. Their artisanal using quotes chicken sandwich is good enough, but no, Wendy's has definitely got the best bacon cheeseburger. I'm gonna go with
best chicken sandwich.
This is a tough one. Or you know what? No, I'm gonna switch out. I am gonna switch out the burger. Actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with a Culver's bacon cheeseburger.
Get the fuck out of here. That's the
no. You're right. No, you're right.
That's the equivalent of saying.
So
that's the equivalent of saying Ben Affleck's the best Batman. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, he is, but whatever.
All
right, so we'll stick with the Baconator from Wendy's.
All right.
Fries. Ooh, it's tough. I'm gonna go Burger King fries.
Ugh.
I just like the crunchy fries.
No,
That's
I
what
agree
like.
with you. I don't hate their fries. I don't love their fries, but
What else? What else are we building?
chicken
here?
sandwich.
Fries, the burger.
Let's add chicken sandwich or nug.
That chicken sandwich. That's tough. It's definitely between Wendy's and McDonald's. Slight edge to Wendy's again. I think Wendy's is just
Your favorite fast
in terms
food
of
place.
like typical. In terms of typical like burger and fries establishments, Wendy's is like the best.
Except I hate Wendy's.
But in terms
fries.
of overall fast food,
I hate
Wendy's,
Wendy's.
really?
Fries. Yeah, I don't like their French fries. I
Why?
love everything else.
their French fries suck.
I always
But that's not
substitute.
enough to condemn an entire.
No, I
chain.
love Wendy's burgers. I love their chicken sandwiches. I love their spicy nugs. But I am more likely to order chili instead of fries at Wendy's.
Chili, really?
Yeah, their chili's actually not terrible.
So I'd say, in terms of like burgers and shit, Wendy's is the best. But my all definitely, like in terms of just like I want to just be gluttonous and just eat like shit. Taco Bell.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's a place you're going to get a drink from.
Well, fountain sodas are the best kind of soda you can have.
Agreed.
So I'm gonna go.
The gas station on the block.
Well, no, I mean those are typically better, but McDonald's for some reason always has the crispest tasting Coke I've ever had.
You know, I can't argue that. Even though I don't care for Coke products at all, McDonald's like fountain drinks have this special like feel to them.
It just tastes very crisp and refreshing. And like I know the nature of drinking a soda is to dehydrate you, but it's just the way their Coke tastes, it just tastes so good. And it's the best fountain soda I've ever had, hands down.
Okay, so for me, best burger. Ooh, this is tough. Because I think I agree with you. I think it's Wendy's. Like, I think it's a Wendy's. Like, I love their triples. Chicken sandwich though, or nug. Not even close.
Wendy's?
No. I actually prefer Burger King's like grilled chicken sandwich. I don't know.
Ooh, what about Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A, good.
Okay, so there's a personal thing there where I don't support Chick-fil-A for reasons.
I understand the reasons why.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have the personal stake in it. Their chicken sandwiches are delicious, but I absolutely understand where you're coming from, for sure.
I do like their, like, I will say this, their nuggets are great.
Uh-huh.
But let's see.
So you're going with
either Burger King,
Burgers, Wendy's,
or
and
no, I
nuggets
take this back.
are-
I take this back. I am taking Dairy Queen's chicken strips.
That's retarded.
You
That
shut your
doesn't-
mouth.
Dairy Queen is an ice cream shop. It's not known for its fast food.
But their chicken strips are the shit. They are the bomb diggity yo.
oh, okay.
And then let's see. For fries, I am taking Arby's.
Ooh, I hadn't thought about Arby's. That's a good one.
Or, and this is kind of a cop out, or I'm going to take Sonic's chili cheese tots. When you live in Oklahoma City, which is where the Sonic headquarters is, you eat a lot of Sonic.
See, there isn't really any Sonics near me, so it's kind of I can't agree with you.
By the way,
because I don't have that experience.
I would choose my burger to be In-N-Out, but I haven't had one in so long that I couldn't tell you. But that was my favorite burger place for the longest period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think Whataburger is overrated. There'll be some hate mail.
I liked Whataburger for the brief time that I lived in Texas, but yes, absolutely. Whataburger
Let's
is
see. And,
very overrated.
and fountain drinks, I'm going to catch I take back my chicken thing again. I am taking back my chicken. I am going completely fried chicken from Bojangles. It is a southern chain. Fuck everything.
All right.
And my drink, I am choosing from Taco Bell because it's one of the only few places you can get a fountain Pepsi.
What are you talking about? You get Fountain Pepsi plenty of places.
Not in fast food.
Well, like a lot of smaller regional places, yeah.
Not around here.
I don't know. I'd say Taco Bell has got the best fast food drink because it's the only place you can get Baja Blast all year.
Yeah, which I like Taco. By the way, if I'm gonna pick a dessert, it's Cinnamon Twist from Taco Bell. I don't know
dude,
why.
Those Cinnamon Twists are delicious.
It's like the weirdest thing ever, but damn, I fucking good. Those things are good as shit.
I agree. No arguments here. Although I am also always down for a fucking McFlurry.
If the machines are actually working.
Yeah, they always don't work.
Who would play you in a movie? So if there's a movie being made about your life and you coming on your face, who plays you? Peter North?
So there's someone I would like to play me, and there's someone who I think would play me.
You're gonna say David Duchovny to play you?
No, not at all, actually.
Okay.
I would like Paul Rudd to play me.
Good choice. Good choice.
Because he's just so fucking charming, and I know I'm not that charming. But ultimately, I think Seth Rogen would play me in real.
I'll say that's who my pick was
movie.
too. That's who my pick for me is. Is like it's either Seth Rogen or Jonah Hill. I don't know if
I think if they were to make a movie about TBK magazine, and it would be directed by what's his name, Judd Apatow. It would be you and me, and you'd definitely be Jonah Hill, and I would definitely be Seth Rogen, and then Jim would be Peter Siegel.
Like there's a lot of great like there'd be a lot of funny people in the movie. That's all that could be said. And honestly, you know what too? There's part of me that thinks I might be played by Michael Cera.
Yeah, I could see that too.
That would just be weird. Or there's one other person. Oh crap. I can't think of his name at all. My mind just went
James Franco?
No, Johnny Galecki. So the dude from Big Bang Theory, because I feel, or Ian Roseanne, but I feel like Johnny Galecki pretty much was like, I could play that. That's not that much of a stretch from what I was doing on this show. So,
that's a good choice.
Nate, what is something painful that happened to you during your childhood?
Oh man, I got a story for you.
All right.
We had a family reunion, like from both sides of my dad and my mom's side. We all like kind of came together and had a big. No, that was the second one. The first family reunion was just my dad's side. Sorry. So we had this family reunion in this like national or this park wooded forest area. It was fun. Like everyone got together. It was grilled food. I think I was like 10 or 9 at the time. I was playing with a bunch of the other kids, and I got up on some monkey bars, and they're like super tall monkey bars, like way taller than they probably should have been for kids to be playing on. But I get all the way to the top, and something the readers might not know about me, I have a somewhat crippling fear of heights.
I thought you were going to tell us you have webbed toes, and I was getting ready to be excited.
No. I have a very somewhat crippling fear of heights. So I get up there, and I'm like petrified as shit. I'm like, fuck, how am I going to get down? So my dad was standing close to the swing set talking to a couple of his cousins. And I'm like, hey, Dad, come get me down. He didn't hear me. So I'm like, hey, Dad, come get me down. So, like, I bug him. And finally, he's like, all right, I'm coming to get you down. But you're not going up. Don't go up there again because I'm busy. I can't, just don't go up there again. I'm like, okay. So, of course, I fucking went right back up
Well, of course, because that's what you're going to do, yeah.
That's what kids do. So I get up there, and like I'm trying to get down, and then I, obviously the fear takes hold. So I'm like, well, I start, Dad, come get me, Dad. And he's like, get down yourself, Dad. And like this is going back and forth for like 5 minutes. I'm trying to get him to come get me. He doesn't. And then I'm thinking like, all right, well, fuck, I gotta figure this shit out for myself. What am I gonna do? So then I got the bright idea to slip in between the bars and just drop down to the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, this just doesn't end well. So I start lowering myself until I finally drop, but I wasn't paying attention. My head hits my front of my head hits the front bar and ricochets even harder onto the back bar. I fall to the ground unconscious and crack the whole back of my head wide open. Blood everywhere.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Yeah. That and then like I got rushed to the hospital. I got stitches in my head. I was out of school for like the week. It was pretty fucking gnarly. I still got the scar in the back of my head.
Greatest week ever.
Yeah. So that's probably the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my childhood.
Okay. All right. I took easy questions for this episode because I knew that rant was coming, and I was like, I'm going to switch all of our hard questions this week and save them for another week. Because I was like, I know I'm going to. So this one's weird. This one's kind of dumb, and it does fall on me being an idiot. So back when I was, I think, 10, I got a new bicycle. It was like the first new bicycle I ever got.
Mm-hmm.
And that bicycle happened to be a Huffy Mudslinger. If anybody remembers what these bikes look like, God bless you. So what they were is like, it's a normal bicycle, but it had mud guards. So you could ride them in the mud and everything. They didn't work for shit, by the way. I just want to point that out.
It was just more for aesthetic purposes.
And I lived on 2 acres of land growing up. So I'm going to describe this. At the front of my place, there was a gate. And like you could come in and out of the gate. Like it was a manual gate, so you had to do it old school and lock it the hard way. But so I'm at the front of the gate. The gate going into the very back of the property is wide open. I'm going to ride my mudslinger from the gravel all the way to the back. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be awesome while fucking doing it. So I get on the bike. I take off. I am going like 4 miles per hour. And I don't really know how fast that's going, but let's just, for the sake of this, I'm going 4 or 5 miles per hour.
Okay.
I am yelling at the top of my lungs, "Go, Richard, go," like I am fucking Speed Racer.
Go, Richard, go!
Pretty much the whole time. I there's this stretch, so I go from gravel to grass. And there's like a strip where I used to use it as like my wrestling entrance when I was playing outside. And I'm on that strip of grass, and I can feel the wind in my hair and the bugs in my mouth. And there's like a little hump where the gate is, and I hit the hump, and I lift off the ground a little bit, and I'm so fucking excited. And then I see a snake.
Oh, shit.
And I freak the fuck out. Like, part of me goes, oh my God. And I'm still at the top of my lungs yelling, "Go, Richard, go," except my voice squeaks. So now, it's "Go, Richard, go." Like, it's bad. So I'm hit this, and I'm going faster now to try to get away from the snake because I'm scared to death. And all of a sudden, my dad pops up because I didn't know he was in the back of our property, because we had like an actual running spring in the back of our property, and it was awesome. Like it was a nice tranquil spot. You could go down there and you could sit. And I see his head pop up. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm trying to stop the bike because I didn't know he was there. And my brakes lock. And I hit the brakes as hard as I can. And I skid for like maybe the bike and I skid for like 30 feet. Luckily, I'm still on it until the bike comes to an abrupt stop when it hits sandstone. And all of a sudden, I am flipped over the front of my handlebars, and all I can think of is that scene in Deadpool. It's like, funny, you wonder how I got here. And it's happening in slow motion, and I'm going over. I can read the sign that says Huffy Mudslinger, but it's upside down. And the next thing I know, I'm trying to brace for my landing. I hear my dad going, "No." And oh my God. And then the next thing, I am hitting, you would think the ground is first, but I'm in an embankment. And I'm like, okay, so in my head, I'm thinking if I hit the embankment, I can roll down, I'll be all right. I'll get wet, but I'll be all right. I did not take into consideration that there is a berry bush right in front of me, nor did I take into consideration it is a berry bush with thorns.
Oh!
Oh.
So as I'm in midair, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be okay, and then it dawns on me, like right before I get ready to hit this bush, I'm fucked. And the next thing I know, I go onto the bush as if it was a crash pad in in like a stunt in a movie.
Oh, Jesus. Just the visual is just painful to visualize.
And all I hear is my dad in the background going, "You shouldn't have been yelling, 'Go, Richard, go.'" Like, what the fuck?
Thanks, Dad.
I am like 10-year-old me is bawling like a fucking baby. I am just like, I'm over it. I am done. I'm going in. I'm eating a squeeze pop. I'm out. That is it. I'm done.
Fuck this. I'm out.
And that was probably the most traumatic pain as a child I suffered, because it was like, oh, well, that didn't go as what I thought it
Not
would.
only did you crash and burn, but you crash and burn into a bush of fucking thorns.
Yes.
Oh, fuck me.
It was one of the worst experiences I ever had in my life, and it sucked donkey penis. I don't know what else to say to that. Like, I remember it. God, I remember it just like it was almost yesterday. Like, oh, fuck, that sucked.
That the visual alone, like you experienced it, so like I can only imagine. But just imagining you in slow motion crashing and burning into a giant bush of thorns, just ooh, God.
And my dumb ass going, "Go, Richard, go."
Go, Richard, go.
And that didn't make it any better. So that is my story of one of the worst things that happened to me when I was younger. So yay.
God damn.
It could have been worse.
Test dummies.
It could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse, but it is what it is. All right. So
yeah, sounds pretty bad.
what is something that's on your bucket list? This is how we're going to wrap up this edition of Live, because we still got to record another show. Hey.
Bucket list.
The bucket list.
I want to travel to Italy.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like everyone's like, I want to go to France. I want to go to Italy. One, because I'm Italian and I want to go to the home country. And two, I want to go eat some authentic Italian food. I want to
you
take
can
in
do
the
that.
sights.
You can do that at an Olive Garden. Come on.
You know what I mean, you cockstain.
There it is.
I just want to go and ride on a gondola. I've always wanted to go to Italy. So that's probably one of my biggest bucket list things for sure.
Yeah, I can't blame you. That actually isn't bad at all. I can see that. I am right now in the process of someone texted me and asked me what the font I use for the website is. Thanks, jackass. So now I'm in the process of what is my font that I use for the shows? Well, balls. So I'm in the process of trying to find that because he needs it for a project. Are you damn kidding me?
Well, it's definitely not Helvetica, that's for sure.
No, it is not Helvetica. No, it's not. It's not. Nor is it Comic Sans, because I know that shit gets me in trouble. By the way, I had a teacher fail me so fucking hard on a paper when I wrote it in Comic Sans. I was not...
Really?
Yeah, she was pissed. She's like, why? Because I wrote it in Comic fucking Sans. Why the fuck would you write a paper in Comic Sans?
I guess.
That's like writing a paper in your own blood.
I don't know if it's quite that bad, but okay.
It's pretty bad. So that is going to wrap up this edition of Live, I believe. Yes, kids, you too can survive a briar bush if you just yell your name and go in front of it. Oh my god. Oh, my dad gave me hell for that for at least a month.
I can imagine. I would have.
I think it was just the fact that it's because I was yelling "Go, Richard, go" the entire time.
Go, Richard, go!
And it just made things 10 times worse. So, but yeah. So that's going to wrap up this edition of Live. Next week we got a very fun special episode. It is the return of the bits. So, and we're going to open up the mailbag again. Use the hashtag TBK mailbag. Next week it is the return of, for the first time in over a year, it is the return of rejected sponsorships. All the time we get terrible sponsorships trying to get us to plug their products. Next week we talk about some of the rejected ones.
Ooh, that's going to be fun.
That is going to go right up there with the annals of Pablo Picasso's Pirate Pizza in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Gandhi's Sacred Meats, and Lindsay Lohan's Cocaine Pixie Sticks. So, or my personal or my personal favorite, the Donald Trump Hair Fixer Elixir. That one was pretty good.
It ain't working.
No. Also next week, the return of Weird News. And the nerd debate, I assume we're going to talk about Batman.
Yeah, that is absolutely going to be... Tune in, listeners, to listen to me wipe the floor with Richard on why Ben Affleck is a better Batman than Adam West.
That is blasphemous, sir. So as the gates of hell open up and swallow Brody whole before the next episode, guys, we will see you next time. Brody, is there anything you would like to add in this episode?
No, this has been fun. It was a nice, concise, well, in so much as, concise for us can be. I enjoyed doing the grab bag, or the mailbag. I look forward to the questions every week. I had a good time. So, I'm looking forward to next week, too, for sure.
Guys, don't forget to check out... Oh, probably should talk about this. Hey, I found the fucking font. Oh, my God.
What was it?
Lemon Milk.
What?
You fucking heard me. It's Lemon Milk.
There's a font called Lemon Milk?
Yep.
Holy shit. What a way to end the episode.
Well, hold on. I'm going to tell you what the other font is. It is Lemon Milk and... Oh, balls. It's Lemon Milk. Yep, this is what we're doing tonight, kids. Who gives a shit? It is Lemon Milk and Road Rage.
I thought you were going to say Roadhouse for a minute. Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Okay, there we go. Lemon Milk and Road Rage. Okay. Thanks, Phil. For anybody who's not known, Phil's the other guy that's on SNS, and he does videos and stuff and movies, and he just actually worked on a movie with David Arquette. So he sends me a message going, "Hey, I want to do something for you. What's your fonts?" Like, really? That's not a text I normally get on a daily basis.
Oh man.
Really quick. Really quick, I want to let everyone know this. Okay, so number one, you can check out the show on YouTube. So if you don't want to subscribe to iTunes or Google or wherever else or Podbean, you can check them out all on YouTube. We're uploading new videos. They will be uploaded the day after the show goes up. So this show goes up on Thursdays. It will be up tomorrow on the YouTube.
Okay.
If that's not enough, we now have a schedule. Boy, that fucking took a long time, didn't it? And the schedule goes like this. On Mondays, it's striking a chord with Mad Men. All right, kids, that's all.
That's all, folks.
On Mondays, it's striking a chord with Mad Manda. On Wednesdays, there's nothing. By the way, this week there was a show because SNS didn't get to go up on Sunday, and then there's a pay-per-view on Saturday, so there's that. On Thursday, it's live. On Friday, on alternating weeks, one week it's going to be Video Killed the Internet Star. The next week it's going to be Cinecrap. On Saturdays, accordingly, we've not figured out how often the show is going up, but it will be the Brody and Richard show. And this week's topic, of course, is the worst sex stories we have.
Oh man, I'm so excited for you guys to hear that one.
And then on Sundays is SNS. So check out all of our shows. TBK Magazine and TBKRadio.com. Video Killed is not a podcast, so check that out only on the website. It is video only. So there we go. I'm actually sending this text. I want to hear a response to Lemon Milk. The bottom font is Road Rage.
Road Rage. Roadhouse. Every letter is just a gif of Patrick Swayze ripping out somebody's throat.
Pretty much. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this edition of Live. So, Brody, thank you for joining us again. And
Thank you for having me.
next week, it's going to be the nerd debate that ends all nerd debates.
It will be. You're not going to be able to top it because you're not going to survive.
And we're going to end this show like we do every other show. Torgo, you know what to do, sir. Take us home tonight.
You cannot stay. The master would not approve.